Hello, my name's Sue Lewis, and I'm going to be running you through this very short training session, which is aimed at somebody who might be a tutor or the person who's going to do a 5-minute follow-up with their tutees about a month after the career guidance takes place. Now, to be able to run this training, tutors, you will need to have a login to the admin area of Career Pilot and to be assigned to a group in the Pathway Planner so you can actually see what you can be doing. So let's get started. So just to explain what the Pathway Planner is, so essentially the Pathway Planner is a triage tool that will allocate guidance according to the needs of your students. So the model starts with a 1-hour lesson that will be delivered within the school, and that lesson will just explain the next stage options to year 11 or year 12, whoever you're doing it with. And also they'll get some time on Career Pal to look at what they're interested in. And for the last 10 minutes of that lesson, they'll complete the Pathway Planner. So the Pathway Planner will ask them what pathways they're interested in. And then for the ones they like, they'll be doing a short quiz that will give them a red, amber, green rating to show how ready they are for that pathway. Then the careers advisor, the careers leader will be looking at that information and then allocating guidance according to the needs of the students at 3 different levels. Then that guidance will take place, and there's all sorts of tools you can track where the students started from, what you offered them, and where they are now. So it's a really good tool to help students get the support they need, but also to begin to track their future destinations and also get them ready for the next stage progression. There are various other things you can do as well, like create a short report, so everybody knows what the students are thinking of doing after they've had the guidance, so you can all be helping the students on their way. You can also offer a weekly drop-in session so that students can self-refer to it, or tutors can refer students to it, so that be delivered by a qualified advisor. But the bit we train you up to do today is do the follow-up, which literally takes 5 minutes with each of your tutees. So let's get started on that. Okay, so just to explain, we've designed the lessons at Career Pilot for year 11 and year 12, that pre-guidance session, and it will be delivered in the school. It's also available as a video lesson, so if you are the one who ends up delivering that lesson as well, all you need to do is press play and then facilitate that lesson. Part of the lesson will be using our introductory video, which kind of explains how students can manage their future careers, and then the lesson will show them how they can do that, and with a big focus on option choices and then completing the pathway planner right at the end. So this is the way the pathway planner works. It's only going to take the students about 10 minutes in that lesson. You don't have to deliver that unless you're specifically asked to deliver that lesson, but just so you know what's involved. So the students will be logging into Career Pilot, and in their career tools, they'll have the option to click on My Pathway Planner. So this is the post-18 version. So it'll be year 12 students who are thinking about their post-18 pathways. We show them the pathways. They can say definite, considering, not doing. And if they're definite or considering, they do a short quiz. So in this example, the student is considering university. So we want to find out how ready they are for university. Have they done what they need to do? Do they know what they need to know? So we'll ask questions like, I've discussed my interest in university, my parent carer. I know what course subject I want to apply for. Now, some of these are fairly neutral, but some are more red flags. So they don't see all the scoring, but what they get is a red, amber, green rating. So in this example, a student is definite about university, but they obviously have some gaps because they're amber. They're also considering a gap year, and again, they're amber. Considering apprenticeships, and they're red. So there's obviously quite a few things they're not sure of there. So it's very easy for the students to do that. They're all going to get some sort of guidance, and that'll be determined by the results of the pathway planner. One thing that students can also do is when they've arrived at a pathway and they've got their red, amber, green, they can access support. And what that means is they get directed to a part of Career Pilot where they can beef up their own knowledge about that particular pathway. At any time, they can view or edit their responses, and the whole idea is they're sort of moving and changing as they learn more or as they have their careers guidance. So the way it works then for the school is by any group that's been set up in the pathway planner, careers leader, careers advisor can see the results, see what pathways students are interested in, but also see how ready they are for them. And then they can allocate guidance according to need. and all the bookings can be made online, and this system can be an integrated tool you can use right across the school, with multiple staff members accessing this data as appropriate. So in our pilot, we always go by the definite pathways to start off. So if a student is definite and they're green, they get a 20-minute checker plan. If they're definite and amber, they get a 30-minute session. If they're definite and red, then they get a 60-minute session. So what's also happened before you've done your follow-up is the careers advisor will have written a report, which is available for you to see as well on the student's record. Students can see it too, and agree some actions with the students as well. So all that information will be accessible to you too. So what's involved for you as a tutor? Well, we're not asking you to become a careers advisor. We're just asking you to support the process with your tutees. So about a month after guidance, then what we'd like you to do is with each of your tutees, ask these 3 questions. Are you clear about which pathway? How are you getting on with your actions? Do you feel you have the information you need to move on your chosen pathway? Now, if they're just missing out on some actions, that's not a reason to refer them. But if they're in the middle about their pathways and still worried, then you have the facility in the system to say that that student needs more guidance. And that would probably just be a drop in that they get invited along to, but at least they'll be picked up and hopefully resolve any issues they've got about their chosen pathway. So what are you going to get from it? Well, you'll know a lot more about your tutees and their planned progression, so you can be helping them along with that. You know what they want to do at 18 in the future, so it gives you more information about them, might motivate them more with their subjects as well. And you will be able to see what they need to do to get there, because the careers guidance report will be on the site alongside a lot of information about what the students are specifically interested in. It's really easy to access all this information. In our pilot, we've got really positive feedback from tutors about this, because they really like getting this level of information on their tutees. So let me just show you how it all works. So with your login, when you get into careerpilot.org.uk, the bit you want to go to is the Pathway Planner. And when you get there, you'll be able to see the dashboard showing where the students, what the students are interested in. So the way to get there is by clicking on Group Reports and Actions and choosing the top one, Pathway Planner Results and Actions. And then you will see a dashboard for whatever groups you've been given access to. So that's useful information for you, but there's lots of actions you can take against the individual. So if you're interested, you could look at the answers they gave, see their timeline, which I'll show you in a minute. Guidance will already be booked for them. This is not how you book guidance for them. I'll show you how to do that now. The progression follow-up is a little summary one-liner that the careers advisor can write as they leave their guidance. But the bit you're interested in is the tutor follow-up. But below that, you can see that you can access the full career advisor's report just by clicking on that link. So tutor follow-ups where you will go, and then you can say, yes, I followed up, and yes or no, this student needs additional guidance. And that information will then be on the progression follow-up report for the careers advisor, career leader to look at. Whenever you're in Career Pilot, if you go and have a look at the Career Tools report and comment, which is the full report from the Careers Advisor, you can always get back to the Pathway Planner. The black bar at the top links to all the reports in Career Pilot, so you can get back to the Pathway Planner results if that's where you want to go. So there's a reminder of the 3 questions that we'd like you to ask, and then if you're at all concerned about the students, you could pop into Career Pilot, click to say you've actually done the follow-up and say whether they need more guidance, and then they'll get picked up by the careers advisor and careers leader. If you've got access, then you can log on, have a play, or you might want to ask any questions of your careers leader or your careers advisor. One thing to know too, if the students have changed their plans, just remind them how they can go back into Career Pilot. They can request their own guidance if they feel they need some support, so they can do it or you can do it. but they can also edit any of their responses on the pathway planner. So it might well be they are definitely by university, but they're amber, but they've now resolved those things that might have been issues like about finance or whatever it might be. So they can go back in and change that, and then they might well be green or amber. And that's really what we're hoping they can do. So thanks for coming. Good luck with using the Pathway Planner, and I hope it works well for you and your students.